Well, last time when we were playing with the main input housing here, we had the wrong bearing for the main drive shaft here. And so, look, we've since got that. And so we can go and put that on and put this little piece together now. Now, the bearing that I ended up needing was a Sparex number, S40781. And I'll pop the box over there. So this goes up the back of the housing here. And if you remember, we've put the seal in. The sealant actually seals on this surface here. So I'll go and pop this bearing on, put the circlips on, and all we have to do then is slide him down and fit this clip. Now, we can't just pop that in there, because if you remember from when we when we stripped the gearbox, we actually had to get this housing dropped down. So that should be down out of the way for the moment, and then we can lift this up and we can bring the shaft through from the back. So okay, I'll go and put this bearing on, and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, I've put the bearing on the shaft here, and you'll see we've got the snap ring sitting in nice and tight there now. So all we need to do is bring this shaft through. We've already got a bit of grease on the seal there, so we just bring this through gently. We can use a bit of a little bit of tape on there if we need to, and we need to bump that in just to get that bearing in through the hole. So I'll just go and find a hammer. Now if we go in the centre here, we should be okay. That's got us home nicely. Now this little clip here, we just have to slide him in. Oh, come on. Try and hold it in the bottom there a little bit. Alright, I think I'll do this on the bench. Back in a minute. Right, you can see we've got all the bearing in there now. Oh, look, it was a bit of a fiddle. I had to get it in the bench to do it. I kept chasing it round and round here. So when we pull the centre out here, pull this out of the way, you can see we have the big bottom gear in, the PTO drive gear. That gear drives the shaft with the hydraulic pump and all that. That's in place now. So what we can do is fit this top shaft. I've just got a bit of aviation gasket cement here. It's a big old thick old bottle I've had for years. I don't use a lot of gasket goo, but I've always used it here for some reason. Must have got shown that when I was a young fella, I suppose. If we put the gasket on here, line the holes up, make sure he's nice and flat. Another bit of goo on this side now. This is thick, this old pot of glue. She's good gear. Okay, that's got all the glue that we need. try and keep out of the frame if I can. So we should be able to just slide that in. Now when you undo the bolts in the centre here, you have long ones for the bottom and we have the short ones go on the top because it's a thinner housing. So we'll just pop these in. That's there. I think that feels good. Always start them first. Just start all the bolts in the holes before you do any up. There should be another one. Here he is. You shouldn't have to put any pressure on this to get it done up. Like it should pull up and you'll see the glue just starting to squash out there just a little before you have any great pressure. Oh, I'm winding it. Pushing it out of focus for you. There we go. Yep, we're still in the picture. So now's a good time to bring this gear forward and take these bolts out of the way just for the moment. If I go around the back here, now this shaft here, it feeds in from the back up towards the front here and holds this gear in place, and then we can put this front housing on. So for the moment we just slide him up the back. Now you remember there was a needle bearing up the back and we put a lot of grease on the needle bearing. There we go. So you can feel we've got backlash on there. That's on this gear here, so we know we're right. Okay, that'll do that part. Now our next little video, it'll just be on replacing the bearing here. We're just trying to keep short little segments so you can watch a little bit at a time. So that's it for this, for the input shaft housings and the seals and the retainer and all that. Next up, we'll just pop a new bearing in that bottom plate and run through putting that on. It's very easy to do in the tractor, or out of the tractor like this. So there is a thread up here where you can actually pull it through the bearing, and some of them the whole shaft would come out and things like that. But look, no need for this. We've got both ends available, so we'll do it the easiest way possible.